it's haunting because this and like stuff like the Russian doping scandal. Like I watched these two documentaries and then I'm like thinking, okay, but that could still be the case right now.
Right.
We just don't know. I don't know. It's just upsetting when you see these athletes on screen and you're thinking, wait, what are they like actually going through and stuff? You know? I don't
Yeah.
know. Which is why like I had the whole volleyball thing.
You want to talk about this on air? You really want to talk about this on air? Is that a choice that you're making?
Yeah, I can talk about it briefly. I don't care.
All right.
Listen,
Talk away. Say
like
what you're going to
listen,
say. Speak your truth.
listen, I don't know if you've been observing the absolute overhaul on social media, like that people are being been having for this group of Japanese volleyball athletes. Like I don't know
Is
if
this
you've seen
about that
that.
anime?
No, it's okay. Well, it was probably influenced by the anime because like people became interested in volleyball and Japanese people and weeaboo culture and whatever. But
Ugh, yeah.
people were rooting for this Japanese team like everywhere.
Okay.
Okay, like um, I get it. They're an underdog, and they've never. I don't think this is like their first time in like 25 years or something, or like a long time that they got into like the Olympics, got into quarterfinals, blah blah blah. And even my sister was really into it,
Okay.
and she doesn't understand volleyball at all. She doesn't watch Haikyuu, um, but I do. Haha, cultured. Anyways, a lot of people are simping over this team, and um, I don't know.
Speak your truth. Say what you're going to say.
Okay, I think 70 to 80% of the new fans and stuff, including me, I wouldn't say that I'm like an old fan or anything, are there because of the visuals, right? Because they're kind of cute. So I think a lot of people have like started standing and simping and following these men because of their good looks and because of weeaboo culture. They gain a lot of fame and popularity on social media. Like the youngest boy, man, on the team, he's 19.
Okay, so we're in legal range. That's good.
We're illegal.
We cleared the bar, baby.
He's 1 year older than me, but like 6 months really, but like 2001.
Right.
Okay, scary thought. He's always been kind of known for like being like handsome and young, and like he came up after the Haikyuu kind of like era, so like people are kind of like comparing him to characters, and so a lot of the other people on the team also like they would be like, oh, that's like that play that like Haikyuu so and so made, blah blah blah.
What do they
Not
say the young
realizing,
guy? Which character is the young guy like?
I don't know, like a lot of different ones are saying like, oh, like he's like Kageyama because like they made the national team at like age 19, blah blah blah. And okay, I understand, but like it's I just don't know how this player, his name is Takahashi. Like I don't know if it's actually being enjoyed by these athletes, like the fame that they get, especially from like because of their visuals and like their appearance, because it would be kind of weird if like you went to play a game and then like it's just a bunch of fangirls filling the stands who like don't even care that much about your skills, and like do they enjoy that, like, or are they upset, or do they feel bad for like their seniors who like are better than them, but they don't get the fame they deserve because they're not good looking. And then also he's really young and suddenly thrusted into this thing, and like he gained like hundreds and thousands of followers suddenly on like Instagram and Twitter and everything. So I was like, huh, like, is this what he actually wants, like, or is this like kind of like weird, like weird behavior, sus behavior?
I think they're probably the only ones that could answer those questions, unfortunately. So maybe you should interview this man's.
you you're right. I don't know, because it's like they are athletes, right? They're not K-pop idols. They don't come out and have fan meetings. They are not doing this for fame. They're
Probably doesn't hurt at some point, but
It probably
you're right.
doesn't. I don't know. Like I'm not trying to be like on a moral high ground. I don't want to
No.
be like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, you shouldn't stand because you know it's toxic. But like,
In some ways, the Olympics is nice because it is literally just about performance. It doesn't matter what you look
true.
like. It is about numbers. How fast did you run these meters? You know, did you guys win the game or not? Did you get the points? You can tell I'm really into sports, but the point it has nothing to do with appearance. It's entirely performance based. So it's perhaps a different mindset that these guys have than somebody like K-pop idols who you kind of know the deal going in. Oh, you're going to be sexualized. You're going to be like woobified by all these weird people that you've never met. And the point, I mean, there's literally a position in groups called the visual. The point is that you're supposed to be attractive. That's why you're there, right? So it would probably be a very jarring experience, like you said, or very different at least, to be in such a field or an occupation almost where it's like everything you do is performance based only. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of people want to suck your dick on Twitter. So you're like,
no, stop.
I don't know about all this.
No. Yeah, I don't know. It just makes me like really like I don't want to be that person who's like, "Oh my god, I'm so worried for like this complete stranger that I don't know." But like it's like worrying as in like the whole culture is worrying.
This has happened before a lot of times, I think,
Yes.
in American social media, especially. I don't know about other countries, but like the Target guy. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where like there was literally just a guy who worked at Target and somebody took a picture and they're like, oh my god, he's so hot. And they put it on social media and it went viral. And the guy was 17, so like that's bad.
Oh my god.
Or there'll be like the pictures of like the hot firefighter or like the hot cop or whatever, and it's literally just an average person who works, but they also happen to be attractive.
Yeah.
I mean, as a culture, I think everywhere in society, we definitely, I mean, pretty privilege is a real thing. We definitely glorify people just for the way they look all the time.
Yeah.
Whether that's a privilege or a burden for them, probably both in the internet era, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Like I do get kind of annoyed sometimes when people are saying like, oh my god, it's such a burden being like pretty.
I don't think it's a burden being beautiful. Being beautiful almost always makes your life better and easier in every sense. I think the problem that's come with the internet era is if you are moderately attractive at your job, somebody can take a picture without your consent, post it on the internet, and then everyone is talking about you in the way that you look and whether you're cute or not and like whether they want to sleep with you or not. And then you can be a 17-year-old who's just working a part-time job at Target.
Yeah.
Fame is the problem, I think, here, or like the notoriety that comes with being actively hot on social media.
Actively hot, yeah.
Being beautiful as an ordinary person just means that you always get free drinks, you always get jobs you apply for, everyone likes you, it's really easy to date, at least at first, because you're just naturally a beautiful person. Being beautiful or being famous for being beautiful on social media is awful. Probably. I look like a goblin, so I wouldn't know, but I'm saying it's probably very
beautiful. You're beautiful, you're just not on social media, so like that wouldn't even
I'm a ghost.
Like a very big
intentionally.
Yeah, that's like a big hypothetical, but
yeah, can't catch me.
Yeah, so like if you go on Twitter and you search up the names of these people, so like, you know, Ishikawa is like the captain, and then there's like this Takahashi dude who's like 19. And it's just like a bunch of like, good morning to Ran Takahashi only, you know, and then like bunch of like screen caps of him, like he's a fucking idol. And then like, or like, oh, he's such a cutie. And then like a photo set of him, you know? It's just so like weird. Like his role as an athlete, as a volleyball player is just like romanticized, you know? It's like when like people say, oh my god, yeah, I love a man in uniform kind of thing. You know, it's just like, oh, it's just something that makes him attractive. It's not like...
Yeah, he's completely removed from the context of his actual life, which would probably be pretty weird to be like, oh, everyone is just posting pictures because they think I'm hot. It has nothing to do with my actual life, my actual job, who I actually am as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just can't imagine, you know, logging on to social media one day and that being the case. Like...
Also, it's the definition of like, they did not sign up for this.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're going to be an Olympic athlete, you have to kind of assume that you're going to be, I mean, you're going to be televised, so you're obviously going to be in the public eye to some extent. But, like, they did not sign up for this actively at all.
Yeah. And, like, but the thing is, I'm sure they're being exploited for this by, like, their PR agency or, like, by the, you know, the admin side of things. you know, their fame, that is, you know, so that they can get sponsorships and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's also a thin line, I think, in a lot of these cases, because while I'm sure some of it is exploitation, I'm sure they're also benefiting from it as well.
Yes, of course, yes.
So if the agent is giving them sponsorship deals and doing publicity stuff, it benefits them ultimately as well. So I mean, maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. I don't, like, again, ultimately I think I think you would have to ask them directly to know what they think about any of this. And B, I do think this is partially because you're a Pisces and you have the ability to empathize with anybody. And that's where this is coming from.
I know. Like, everything makes me sad. So, like, when I'm like, oh, yeah, the Olympics makes me sad, I'm not even surprised by myself. Because, like, there's something sad about everything. I think the thing is that, like, the Olympics is just a reflection on society. It's just the things that I find sad about it is basically just what's happening in real life anyway.
Yes.
It's, like, it's not in the limelight, you know, that kind of stuff. But I would like for it to be known, though. Like, I thought it was so funny because I went back and read it, but, like, I sent you like messages and I was like, SOS, I'm infatuated with Japanese volleyball men. I'm an issue. Cancel your subscription.
And then literally like 24 hours later.
Yeah, the next message I sent was, I've decided it's really unhealthy for the volleyball boy to be suddenly thrusted into stardom, not for his skills, but for primarily his looks, and I've decided not to stand.
Literally, I was like, I think I texted you back and I was like, I saw the rise and fall of your obsession, like the natural life cycle of your obsession in about 24 hours, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I gave it a lot of thought, but also it's because I'm a pretentious person and I don't like to like things after they've become overly populated, like saturated. So
I think a lot of it is also you being a Pisces, though, and your genuine ability to empathize with pretty much everybody in the world. Like I don't know a lot of people who would literally, or who would sit and think about what the athletes are going through having this sudden burst in popularity. That's not like, it's not like a read. I'm not like roasting you. I'm just saying, like, I probably never would have thought of that personally. I think it's cool that you do.
Thanks.
We're different people.
Yeah, but I don't know how much of that is just me trying to make myself seem like a good person versus my natural disposition. But hey, you know, that's for another episode.
In class.